Chapter 23. Sobriety. Nana looked at the host and continued, "Bad things happen to all of us. Some have been in worse places than I have and still find God. I have been raped, drugged, beaten up, strangled, and had a gun pointed at my head, but I still choose God. I still choose love. The funny thing is, most of those come from people I thought loved me, but we get feelings/emotions and choices messed up. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. But whether there are prophecies, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away." 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4-8. "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law." Galatians 5 verses 22-23. These verses are very clear that God did not make love a feeling but a choice. We can either choose to accept the spirit of love or reject it. Falling in and out of love is an emotion that we have learned to accept in society. This, I feel, is why so many have a hard time committing to loving the Lord. When our feelings are hurt because what we hoped for and prayed for did not come to fruition, we get mad at God and blame Him. Just like when I divorced Lonnie. I blamed Him and decided I was not in love with Him. I chose not to love Him because of my expectations of the marriage. Because I leaned into my own understanding. I realized now that I could have chosen love, which is unconditional. I picked and chose what I wanted to love in our marriage. I chose instead to dwell on the bad things and let those fester into bitterness. We cannot love and hate at the same time. Hate is dark and can snuff out a small light of love if we allow it, and I did. I allowed the dark to take over. I remember when Jack and I hit our 13th anniversary. I told him I had not made it this far before in my marriage to Lonnie, and I had no idea what to expect. Funny to think that way, but in all fairness, I was bitter at Lonnie at this point in our marriage. There was no love because I snuffed out the only light in my life and chose to hate. This time around, I chose love. In the first years of my marriage to Jack, the devil tried to get me back in his playground. He had me dwelling on all our faults. I was going down that dark path to bitterness, and then God stepped in. He opened my eyes to true love, unconditional love, meaning I would not dwell on the bad but only on the good. It was a choice I was consciously making. I love Jack more today than I did at the beginning of our relationship. Do not get me wrong, we have our issues, but I choose to dwell on the good in our lives together and grow that instead of the bad. Healing emotionally, physically, and spiritually has transformed us both. When I first began my journey back in 2015, I had no idea how many demons a person could have attached to them. I felt like they were falling off of me. As the fasting upped, the detoxing was harsh, and in each month, I came out stronger in Him and weaker in my flesh. Pound by pound, I was starving the demons. I was not feeding them anymore. My mind was clearer than I could ever remember. I was sober. I was not drunk off the lies of man anymore. I felt violated by what I had been feeding on my whole life. It was in my food, television, music, school, stores, and my home. Even the church got tainted with lies. The whole time, there was one book that had information about our one true Father and His beloved Son. It was the one book that seemed to be everywhere, even in the hotels, but not in our hearts. It was like Jesus was following me everywhere, telling me to read the book. The one relationship that I truly needed as a child was denied to me. It was withheld from me, and my inheritance was almost stolen. For some, it is stolen and they die and go to hell. I was blessed for Him to find me when I called out to Him. I am blessed He listened when He heard my cries. It is not too late for your real life. The choice is to do it or not to do it. Nana nodded her head as the host mouthed the word, "out." The host was coming around the table and hugging Nana. "Thank you, Nana, for coming and talking today. I can't wait for the next time. I hope it is soon." Nana replied, smiling, "Yes, it will be very soon. Remember to fast, pray, and heal. Thank you for walking this journey with me through fat, sick, broken. What began as pain turned into purpose, and what felt like the end became a brand new beginning. My prayer is that you find healing, truth, and peace in Jesus, the same way I did. Stay strong, stay faithful, and never forget, you are not alone and your story isn't over.